Welcome to another edition of Tony's Kitchen. Today we're going to be making bread. Today we have 8 cups of flour. We have 2 teaspoons of salt here. We have 3 teaspoons of sugar. We have 1 1/8 tablespoon of yeast. And we have 1/8 cup of milk powder. We also have 3 tablespoons of butter. Alright, so the ingredients are separate here. What we'll do, we'll be mixing the salt with the flour, alright, like this. And we'll also be mixing the yeast and the sugar with the water here. Well, we have 3 cups of water. What we'll be doing, we'll be putting a cup of water, 1 cup of water in this cup separately. Alright, so that will leave us with 2 cups of water here. This water here would be used to mix the milk in. Alright, so we have our powdered milk here. Just to let everybody know as well, this water here, it is slightly warm water. It helps with the fermentation of the yeast in the water. The sugar also, the yeast also feeds off of the sugar. So that's why we add the sugar and the yeast together. So we put that together there. And now the yeast. Alright. Now this is instant yeast, so some people add it direct to the flour, but I like to put my yeast with my water and my sugar. Alright. The reason you don't put the yeast with the salt in the flour, at least salt deactivates the yeast. Alright. So we give it a good stir here. So this is roughly our 2 cups of water. And we just leave it to ferment a little. If you look closely here, you would see what has happened to our yeast. Just brought it up onto the top here. Reacted with the sugar. It feeds off of the sugar. And then we have our milk here in our liquid form now, and we have our butter here that was melted in the microwave just for about 20 seconds or so. Alright, we already have our salt and flour put together here. So we just mix that salt and flour up. Alright, have that mixed. We'll add, I put back my milk in the same mixture here. And I also add my butter in this. Alright, and then we stir up everything. Right, and then you start pouring in your liquid and start kneading your flour. Now this flour will be kneaded for about 12 to 15 minutes. So no matter how much ingredients you use, how well, how nice, if you don't knead the flour properly, you don't get a proper dough, and that affects your bread at the end results. So kneading is very important in order to establish a good bread or any flour-based item. Welcome back. Alright, so our dough is completely kneaded. It took me roughly about 10 minutes. This is what it looks like. This is the consistency you're looking for. Slight press down, it comes back up slightly. What we're going to do now, we're going to leave it to rest. When we leave it to rest, it's going to basically double in size. I have a little bit of oil here that I'm just going to put a little bit over it. This helps just keeping the moisture into the dough. Now you don't want it because you don't want it drying out, right? So this is the reason for covering it with the damp cloth, well, a damp warm cloth. Now if you just look over here at the oven, you will see it slit. The light is on it. What happened? Just a little trick. The heat from the light heats up the oven a little bit. The heat in turn help the dough to rise quicker. An hour has passed since we need our flour. Put it in the oven, into the warm oven, and this is what it looks like. As you can see, it's double in size. Alright, so what we're going to do now is we're going to pull it together. I use a little bit of olive oil on my hands so the dough don't stick. You could use any other oil if you want, but I just use this on my hands so the dough don't stick to my hands. So this is what it looks like. You see how it's going down now? Yeah, it's coming out of it, but it's nice and it's really, really soft. Size of pan that we have here now, I'm going to use this much for my first loaf. This doesn't have to roll out too thin, you just roll it. So when we fold it, we could get our loaf. Alright, so what we want to do here now, we just want to start and fold it like this. Different people have different techniques. This is just my technique that I use and making my loaf. When I reach to this end here, I just pinch them together like this. Right. So they can stick, fold it over. So as you can see, it's a little bit longer than my pan. So what I do, I just push in the side a little bit on either side. Now I'm going to show you how to do the hops with just the other pan. So the hops now, I don't roll it out, I just ball it out. Yeah. And this is all the dough that you need just really to do a hops, because this will then go back. You have to leave it to rest again for another 45 minutes to an hour. And this again will go and when we leave it to set, it will rise again. So again, it will become double the size. So you don't make these balls too big, according to what size of hops you're looking for. So, okay, we have completed all our hops here now, and this is our loaves. What we're gonna do is similar to the first process. We're just gonna, these here we have soaked this in some warm water, wring it out. These would just cover the hops and the loaves, just to keep the moisture in it, right? And this, when we do this now, we'll leave it now for another 45 minutes or so. What we'll do, we'll set our oven to 350 degrees. You can preheat the oven to that temperature and then put in your bread. Normally your loaves will take about 25 minutes and your hops will take about 20 minutes or so. There's also a little trick that you could do. You could also put the loaves in the oven while it's preheating, and that extra heat, as it builds in temperature, will cause the dough to rise even further. And when it reaches a certain temperature, it will deactivate the yeast and it will just cook, right? So we'll try that method and we'll see how 45 minutes has passed and this is what it looks like now. Our loaves has risen almost to capacity, and our hops here. This is the one that I did kind of big. It's not a perfect shape, but it's just to show you what happens that it doubles in size. This was a small one, so you see it's still small. Our oven at the time is not at 350 degrees as yet, but we're getting there. But while it's getting there, we're going to put these in the oven. We'll start putting in these. We'll put this on the top shelf. One thing to note, seeing that you're putting it in before it has reached to the full 350, the time it will stay to finish cook will be a little less. Alright? So for the loaves on top, more than likely we will be putting that, we'll be leaving that until about 20 minutes, and for the hops to the bottom, it may stay about 15 to 18 minutes. All our bread has finished cook, and we're now gonna put the butter on top of it. We melt the butter in the microwave, so just paste on very easily. This is the final stage of all your hard work from the beginning to the end. So in total, baking bread may take you about 2 to 2.5 hours complete. A little extra here. Alright folks, so that's pretty much what our breads look like now. So what we'll do, we'll just cut open one so you would see the texture of what it would look like. And I'll do it one time so you could see what it looks like. Alright, so let's just take maybe this one. It's gonna be hot, so you have to be careful while you're holding it. So we can cut it open. It's a little soft when it's hot. And this is the texture of the bread on the inside. Alright, it's nice, it's moist, most importantly. And this is good. You can put your cheese and your butter right now, and you can have a meal. Alright, so that's pretty much it, folks. I really do hope you appreciate the video, and it's showing you how to make bread from the beginning to the end. So thank you for joining us, and stay tuned for the next video.